It is week number 11 of high school football, week number 1 of the Ohio High School Athletic Association playoffs. How you doing, everybody? Matt Jaworski, Jamie Ward with you as the Dragons of Akron East made the trek up north to take on your Chardon Hilltoppers here at Chardon Memorial. Jamie, while it's week 1 of the playoffs for the Hilltoppers, they've essentially played 6 straight weeks of playoff-type football.
Yeah, they knew from an early point that they had to win to get in. That win against Kenson was so big in week 9. And here they are. Amazing to think that they're hosting, because I don't know that we thought that was going to be the case.
Indeed, it was that win over Kenson that provided them the computer point jump to host here in week 11. And they've got a very good East team here that lost their final game against Buchtel, did not claim the Akron Championship Series, but it's a school with 3 legitimate Division I players, 3 guys that are going to the University of Akron, including their quarterback. So for the Hilltoppers, they've got quite an opponent tonight. Yeah,
absolutely. But they're at home, and it looks like the weather is going to hold out a little bit. And so I think we're going to get a good crowd, Matt.
Well, we'll see how this game progresses, but the one thing we know for sure is that we could not be doing this game without our wonderful sponsors. So we're going to take a time out here and thank them on GTV, and then we'll come back with our normal pregame festivities.
Chardon Hilltopper football is brought to you by the Chardon Hilltopper Gridiron Club, Achilles Running Shop, Advanced Mechanical, Arms Trucking Company, Ashes Mayfield Window Cleaning Company, Chardon ATA Martial Arts, Burr Funeral Home and Cremation Service, CCM Rental, Chardon Smile Center, The Connick Law Firm, El Patron Mexican Grill and Cantina, Foot and Ankle Specialists of Ohio, Hazen Contracting, Just for Kids Childcare, Keller Williams Realty, Precision Orthopedic Specialties, Residence Artists, Roniak Paving, Waste Management, and by GTV.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, introducing the 2018 Chardon Hilltopper Marching Band. The band is being led onto the field tonight by senior drum major Heather Humbert. The Hilltopper Marching Band would like to give a shout out to our band parents for all their support, from uniform helpers to chaperones and snack duty parents. We couldn't do it without you. All right, Topper Nation, put your hands together for the Chardon High School Fight Song. Ladies and gentlemen, will you now please stand and remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our country's national anthem and remain standing for the Chardon High School alma mater. All right, football fans, shout hey as the band performs the Hey Song. Ladies and gentlemen, one more round of applause for our 2018-2019 Chardon Hilltopper Marching Band.
Welcome back, everyone. GTV Matt Jaworski, Jamie Ward with you. Jamie, as we get ready for the start of this one, Akron coming into this game, having never seen an offense like Chardon, the question is how much will that benefit the Hilltoppers offense?
Well, we talked to the head coach, Matt, before the game, and he was pretty adamant. He said that they played Springfield and maybe some similarities, but in general, no, they haven't seen it. So they practiced this week without a football, which is the way that you try to get your defense ready for the fakes. And I think that's going to be one of the biggest storylines tonight.
Well, Topper's about ready to come through the tunnel. And there they are. Chardon getting pumped and getting ready to go.
Matt, the senior Andrew McNaughton comes through holding the pickaxe, which is always such an honor for these young men. And he has been really a rock right at the center of that offensive line.
Well, indeed, he is a young man who, as this season progressed, and him and I have had a chance to talk on a couple occasions. And a couple weeks back, Jamie, I asked him, I said, Andrew, the offensive line, you guys have made such strides since the beginning of the season because there were issues the first couple games. You know, what was the difference? And he basically said, and I can't remember if it was after the Canfield game or after the Riverside game, where he said, as a unit, the offensive line, we decided that we're going to hang out together on weekends. And that's what they do now. They're together all the time, and he really thinks that that helped a lot of the cohesiveness of that unit.
Yeah, and of course, this Chardon team, Matt, so depends on that offensive line. And you did a game earlier in which they didn't throw the ball once. So you think about pass protection, but it really all starts with those 5 guys up front and their ability to move guys. And we will see what they will end up doing tonight. Matt, Akron East, they ended up winning the toss, and they are going to receive the kickoff. And that's not surprising considering what we've talked about, or what we will talk about, in that Akron really probably feels as though they need to outscore Chardon tonight.
Oh, they absolutely do, Jamie. This is a Dragons team that has a lot of athletes on its roster. It's a very small roster, but with the athletes that they have, they really feel that they can be competitive with anyone. And one of the things that both coaches talked about is this is going to be a physical game. And the question is going to come down to, will it be the Division I athletes on the Dragons that can make a difference, or is it going to be Chardon as a team getting through this game and delivering what just might be the biggest win of the season?
Yeah, there are some real differences, and we've commented a few times on how this Akron team, very few fans in the stands. The band a little bit smaller, and we'll see if this home crowd can also make a difference.
Ziegenfuss puts his foot into it right at one of the up linemen. Loose ball in the field. Toppers think they've got it. They do!
Wow. When you think about a playoff game, Matt, there's always a handful of plays, especially early. And that is a big blow to this Akron team.
Well, indeed, we'll see what that turnover does as this game progresses. But right now for the Hilltoppers, a chance to get their team out on the field and get the wing tee going. So Max Vuyaklia will head under center, tight formation. Purchase in motion. Now McKnight goes. Looks like Novak straight ahead, moving the pile. So the Hilltoppers going to pick up about, now they move the stick another yard to the, just shy of the 39, about the 40-yard line. So that should be second down and about 4. Toppers will have 2nd and 4 from the 39. Couple guys in motion. Ball going to go around the left side, lowering his shoulder. It's Cole Purchase, and Purchase has the first down.
this Chardon offense, Matt, Frank Hall, the offensive coordinator, who has come back to Chardon after becoming a head coach at Lakeside, and he's down on the sidelines calling the plays right now.
Well, he's got some good running backs in this stable. You mentioned John McKnight, Wade Novak, Cole Purchase. We'll see DJ Bowman as well, a little bit of Vince Ferrante, and maybe a couple other guys. WeWereAthletes going to reposition everybody, moving Novak over to his right. Now Purchase goes in motion. He gives it to Purchase, right side, and Cole across the 30, another big gain. Now, Jamie, so far, the Dragons able to contain the Hilltoppers. I say that in a sense because they're giving up about 6-7 yards per carry right now.
Yeah, well, all day the Hilltoppers will take that sort of yardage, and like we said, it's going to be a challenge for Akron East to figure this offense out.
Now, WeWereAthletes, the junior, 5'10", 190. Has McKnight moving behind him now. He'll come set left side. Another handoff. And Chardon just working right up the middle between the tackles, and that should be close to a first down. It is.
You think about the talent on this Akron team, Matt, under Marcus Hayes, the head coach in his 7th year. Coach Clopton is the defensive coordinator, but the Hilltoppers obviously want to keep those athletes off the field.
Well, if you're Chardon, you'd like a time-consuming drive, although you start on this side of the 50, and it's not going to be as long as you'd like, perhaps. But Novak gets the handoff, and Novak pummels his way up to about the 21-yard line. Pickup of about 4 for Wade Novak.
Hilltopper head coach Mitch Hewitt, 1999 graduate, and Matt, he's in his 8th season. We talked to him before the game, and he as always with Coach Hewitt, sort of acknowledged that he thought maybe Akron had some better talent on both sides of the ball, but we know that he's very confident.
Well, he is. And he's got a good team, a very special team that he's coaches here. Toppers will again hand the ball off straight up the middle. Novak again to carry, and Jamie, Hilltoppers working between the tackles right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing that they've been doing for 30-plus years, and that's why they always are a challenge in the postseason.
Well, Brady Toth lined up as the split end far side. Toth had a touchdown earlier this year in the regular season. Toppers will give it to McKnight. His first carry. McKnight goes right wing, picks up the first down inside the 10.
John McKnight, certainly considered to be the most athletic player on Chardon's football team this year, especially with the injury to Andrew Kobaczewski. And so seems like he was being used as a decoy early on, but he's going to get plenty of carries tonight.
Hilltoppers 1st and goal inside the 7. Chardon recovered a fumbled kickoff, and they have been moving methodically down the field, picking up chunks of yardage, about 5-6 yards per carry. 1st and 7. They hand it off left side. Toppers trying to get around the corner toward the end zone, and it's a touchdown, Hilltoppers.
John McKnight into the corner, Matt, and he needed every bit of the corner for that touchdown, but that's what a smart football player does. And so off of the fumble, the Hilltoppers strike first.
Well, that's going to be a key category, so the point off turnovers. Keaton Ziegenfuss now out to attempt the point after. Snap is good. Hold is up. Kick. That was not pretty, but he got it through.
It goes for 1. And so, Matt, let's go ahead and thank our funding communities, because without them, we could not bring you tonight's playoff football game. And we want to thank everybody, including those not funding this particular contest. And they are Middlefield Village, Burton Village, Chardon Township, Hamden Township, Munson Township and the city of Chardon. Thanks again for supporting GTV. We could not do it without you. And even if you don't have cable, you can go to our website and watch this game on demand for free, geaugatv.org.
Yep. Watch the live streaming or the video on demand. We've gotten requests every now and then, and if it's a game in the last couple of years, you should be able to go online in our archives and find it.
Yeah, you can go all the way back. In fact, we've got our Thanksgiving show coming up. I know that GTV does a football replay for days and days right around Thanksgiving. That makes Dave very happy. I know that much.
Well, here we go. Toppers up 7-0 with 7:45 to play in the first quarter. Ziegenfuss gets the kick, and that time it's going to go bouncing on the left side, picked up, and then toting the sidelines and getting out of bounds was Claude Williams.
Well, the Akron East Dragons, Matt, they come in 8 wins, 2 losses on a team that, like you said, doesn't have the biggest roster. However, there's a lot of college football players at all levels. You pay attention to the Division I, but there's more than that on this team. And so they suffered a setback on that opening kickoff. Let's see what this offense has now here.
Well, this is a high-power, high-octane offense led by the triple-threat quarterback, Kyrie Williams. He's, in one game this year, Jamie, ran, passed, and caught a touchdown. So Kyrie Williams from the gun, 5'10", 195. And officials stop as they got to bring Dervontae Russell out of the game. He had an equipment issue. Ryan Collins going to come back in his place.
These 5 officials, Matt, of course, chosen based on their performance throughout the year. So we should see a pretty nice officiated game.
Williams, a quick throw out left side. Ball's caught up to the 40, 45, spinning around. Pyle continuing to move near midfield, crosses midfield, and the Dragons. Boy, that was a big catch. And it was Robinson who made the catch.
Coach Hayes was very forthright with us when we talked to him before the game, Matt, and he's just, they're very happy to be in this postseason game right now.
Well, question is, are they just happy to be here, Jamie, or are they playing to win? That was something that we talked about with Chardon. We'll get to it after this play here. Williams again from the gun. Going to throw it out near side. Ball is caught by one of receivers midfield. Breaks a tackle. Oh. Ball's on the ground, and the Hilltoppers have it again.
I don't know. We will see. Akron
comes up with it. Darius Reese, one of the 3 guys going to Akron, came up with the football. Boy, I thought, and now Jamie, 2 times in this game we've seen the Dragons cough up the football, able to stay with it that time. Going to bring up a 1st and 10. Dragons from the Chardon 44-yard line. They work their way left to right. Trips coming out near side, a receiver in the slot left side. Williams, a man to his left. Will fake the handoff, going to take it himself. Breaks one tackle across the 40, 35, 30, spun around and brought down. And it was John McKnight on the stop of Williams. Now that's the explosiveness right there of the quarterback. Hilltoppers have not faced a QB like this, Jamie, since the Riverside contest. Williams now a man to his right, gonna run it again. Going straight up the middle, he's stopped. Cole Purchase, one of the guys that got him. Jarrett Hall was up there too.
Absolutely, Hall, the junior, right there in the middle of that line, Matt, number 72. Hilltoppers needed that stop.
A lot of linemen will play in this game, but the big ones, Jarrett Hall, Wade Novak, John Paglio. You'll see their name a lot. We'll be calling their name out a lot. 2nd and 10 from the 28. Williams will hand the ball off left side around the 20, and a big hit. Toppers packing the punch. As Robinson took the carry and picked up just a couple yards.
Vince Ferrante checking in here on 3rd down. The Hilltoppers making a defensive switch. Matt, 2 people run this defense, Brian Landis and Coach Bob Francis.
Hilltoppers, it's tough, Jamie, against a team like this Dragon squad because they can do so much on offense. Have to be prepared for a lot. 3rd down and 7 from the 25. Certainly 2 down territory for East, and they will call a timeout.
Yeah, running into the play was their head coach again, Marcus Hayes. And he gets the timeout, Matt.
Well, you look at the path, Jamie, that Chardon took to get here, and it was a tumultuous start to the season. 1-point loss, 20-19 against and at West Geauga. They came home and they defeated Perry 49-43 in week 2. In week 3, they suffered a 35-13 loss to Canfield, and then a heartbreaking 28-27 decision as time ran out against Riverside. Since then, they've been able to beat Mayfield, Madison, South, Rush, a heart-stopping 27-24 thriller over Kenston, and then the 42-6 win against North.
That was the game, Matt, wasn't it? I mean, you were there and you wrote about it so well, but that really changed this whole season for them.
Well, indeed, it's why they're here in the postseason. 3rd down and 7 from the 25. Williams stopped in the backfield for a loss.
Wow. How many black jerseys were there on that one?
Well, about 3 or 4. Zach Morrison was one of the guys there. I think I saw Paglio as well. Now, boy, what would have been a 4th and manageable for 4th and 7 now turns into a 4th and 12 for Akron from the 30.
Dragons on the 30, like you said. You're not going to attempt a field goal from here at this level, and so this is a difficult situation.
Robinson comes out. They empty the backfield. Now 4 receivers right side, 1 to the left. Williams from the gun. Steps up in the pocket, breaks a tackle. He has running room across the 25-20, gets the 1st down, and continues to churn his feet as he crosses the 15. Boy, what a run. But Jamie, I think there's some laundry down. It will go against the Dragons.
Boy, what a great play there, Matt, by Williams, all erased. And here early on, first quarter, we got 3 minutes before this one is over, but you think about where are the breaks going? And right now, they're going to Chardon.
Well, this is interesting. They are moving the chains because I believe they just picked up the flag.
Oh.
Indeed, they did. Mitch Hewitt got the explanation. Wasn't that satisfied, walked away. So it's 1st down and 10 East from the 15.
Well, there's a break for Akron, so you need breaks in big games for sure.
You know, that's 2 on this drive. They picked up that fumble, and then they got that first down on 4th and 12. Pistol formation for Williams. He will hand the ball off, cutting left side, flag flying at the 10-5 as they hand it off to Romeo Felton. Holding, though, is the call.
That's our umpire right there in the middle of the field. The Chardon Crazies tonight, Matt, they're in a blackout, it looks like.
Indeed they are. Well, Hilltoppers wearing their all-black uniforms tonight, so why not?
Makes a lot of sense. And
you know, Jamie, coordination.
This Chardon team, this community, remember, they only had 4 home games this year, so there was a lot of sense amongst this community. And, of course, I live here, so I can tell you, not as many home games as they would have liked. They got their 5th tonight, but I think that everyone is really happy to be here tonight.
Oh, they are. The fans starting to make a little bit of noise here as they stomp on the metal bleachers. It's 1st and 19 from the 24. Again, pistol formation. They'll hand it off. Felton again, left side 20. Felton up near the 15-yard line and knocked. Well, going to stay in bounds as he's brought down. Number of black jerseys over there as well. Carlozzi going to come off. Officials actually spot the ball at the 17. So 2nd down and about 12. Minute 34, clock running here, first quarter, 7-0 Toppers. They'll give it up. Felton again, left side. Felton doesn't get much. Back to about the original line of scrimmage. Trevisano and Mendenzun coming in. For East, it's a 3rd down and 9 situation. And the Hilltoppers defense, Jamie, so far so good. They've given up a couple runs, but they've been able to keep East out of the end zone.
It's been a bend, but don't break.
Third and 9 from the 13. Fake the handoff. Williams looking toward the end zone. Lichty is pushed away. They're going to say incomplete, out of bounds. Boy, that's a bit of a mismatch down on that left end, and not much that Max Lichty can do about that. He just can't all of a sudden grow a couple inches.
You know, made a great catch, but you're right, out of real estate. So Max is playing cornerback. We've seen him make an interception that won a game earlier in the season. And now again, 4th down, and the Dragons will go.
Now, Lichty going up against Dervonte Russell, who's 6'3", 195. You look at Max Lichty, he's 6'1", 165.
Coach Hewitt wants the Crazies to make some noise. Remember,
now,
they're driving toward that end zone.
To be fair, it's awfully quiet here. I'm just saying, I've heard it louder. 4th and 9, here we go. Williams toward the end zone, lofts it up, it's a touchdown. They found Armanian Robinson. And that is an athletic play by the quarterback.
Yeah, quite a pitch and catch. And that is an example of what this Akron East team is able to do. That was a type of play that we would see on Saturday or Sunday. And yet, they're going to need that extra point.
So Marion Robinson gets the catch, and now they will try to tack on the PAT here with 25 seconds to go in the first quarter. Good snap, kick is down and is underway, and it is no good.
You know, Matt, you said, I think you rushed for a minute there because it wasn't a great snap. I mean, it wasn't a terrible one, but I think it threw the timing off a little bit, and I think that's why they missed it.
Now, Hilltoppers.
Huge play.
Hilltoppers are 25 seconds left to go, up 7-6, and they gave up really just couples pass plays, the one being that touchdown. But other than that, we saw Akron doing it on the ground.
It was a very, very slow drive. And so, we've got the kind of game that Brian Foster wanted down on the sideline, our camera guy.
I thought he was hoping for a Hilltopper blowout.
Well,
he wants the people to stay watching.
He said that he wanted it to be competitive and close. So,
well, it has been a competitive and close first quarter. The Hilltoppers clinging to a 1-point lead. Each team has had the ball once. We've seen more mistakes by the Dragons than the Hilltoppers. Pettyjohn and McKnight back to receive. And for the Dragons, Darius Reese teeing it up.
Yeah, Matt, he's number 55. He's 6'2", 280. So watch this.
He's another Akron scholar athlete.
Not as a kicker.
Nope. Short kick taken at the 20, 30, 35, and knocked out of bounds. That is where the Toppers will begin. That was Jacob Urbick who brought it up the field.
Well, Matt, you wrote about it last week with the win against North here at home. Coach Mitch Hewitt, now in his 8th season. Of course, he's been in this program as an assistant coach and as a player. And he talked about this team as just being not the most talented, and we've seen a 10-0 Chardon team, but a team with a lot of heart, and that's something that really excites Mitch Hewitt.
Well, indeed it is, and it goes back to this unit playing as a team, and they will give the ball. McKnight makes a cut. McKnight was stopped, and you heard some of the crowd going woof because they thought he might have broken that, but you got to give credit to number 15, Marlon Lee, who made the tackle.
Yeah, well, Marlon Lee makes almost a touchdown saving tackle because John McKnight, if he cuts that back, there's nobody there.
Well, Jamie, time has run out here in the first quarter. As we head to the second, it is Chardon 7 and East 6. We'll pause so we can thank our wonderful sponsors who are bringing you this contest.
Chardon Hilltopper football is brought to you by Dad, Mom, and Taylor Purchase. Congratulate Cole Purchase, number 2 on a great season. We are very proud of you. Alvord's Yard and Garden Equipment. B. Anthony's Salon of Chardon. D&S Automotive Collision and Restyling. Defender Auto Glass. The McCaskey Team Remax Traditions. Union Home Mortgage. Mapledale Farm. Judge Terry Stupica. TKI Tax and Bookkeeping. Mom, Dad, and your superfans, Grammy and Nana, congratulate John McKnight, number 7 on a great season. You're the real Johnny Football of Northeast Ohio. Best of luck in the playoffs. And by GTV.
Welcome back, everyone. GTV, Matt Jaworski, Jamie Ward with you. Toppers leading 7-6, and there's a flag. Going to be encroachment against East. Move it up 5 yards. Jamie, we mentioned the path that Chardon took to get here. You look at what East has done, and they started off with 3 wins to start off the year. They went 3-1, somewhat ironically, compared to Chardon going 1-3. It's 2nd down and 2 now from the 46. They will, going to be Vuyaclia that keeps it going straight up the middle, and Max gets the first down across midfield out to about the 48, 49 yard line.
Well, Max, you know, he had to step in, Matt, in a difficult situation. Chardon didn't quite know who their backup quarterback was going to be. Andrew Kobacheski comes in as one of the best players on the team. He's battled illness and injury, and yet here they are.
Well, indeed, and it's because of Max Vujaclia, and we'll talk a little bit about that after this play here. McKnight in motion, and Max hands it off. The ball carrier makes his way up near the 40-yard line. It was, I can't even see, looked like Novak that ran the football, but we found out late in the Canfield week, I think it was Thursday, where we learned that Kobacheski had mono and was going to be out for a while. The timing on offense was clearly off against Canfield, and Chardon did not have a chance in that game. But as the season progressed, you saw Max make such great progress. Hilltoppers will again give it to Novak. Novak stuffed at the line. But Jamie, it was just the team rallied around Max.
Yeah,
and I get that he's the back, but sometimes you don't get that on certain teams.
No, and we've talked to him. You've talked to him. I've talked to him. After the game, he says he's just so happy to have this opportunity, and he is so selfless, and he has done such a great job. This is a young man. I mean, he's 5'10", 160 pounds, but certainly I don't know that they miss much.
Now, certainly Kobacheski was the leader of this team, no doubt about that. And, he came back as they will hand the ball off again up the middle, and not much going there. He's starting to figure some things out right now with the run up the middle.
A couple of yards, but it's definitely a yard and a half short. And this is where Chardon sort of earns their keep, Matt. We have seen them go for it on 4th down, and obviously they're going to do it here, but when they can be successful, that's when they win games.
It was DJ Bowman who got the last carry. We've seen DJ Bowman a couple of times this year make some key runs on a 3rd or 4th and 1. Let's see what he's going to do here. Hilltoppers' timeout has been called by East. Interesting. Chardon coming into this game has gone for it on 4th down 18 times, converted on 11 of them. Jamie, that's a 61% completion percentage.
Pretty good. And when we have seen our teams, Matt, be as successful as they can be, they're doing that, if not a little bit better, because even though the Ziegenfuss clan, of course, has improved that special teams dramatically, Mitch Hewitt likes to go for it on 4th down anywhere between the 30 and 30. This is kind of a no-brainer. Anybody would do this, but
yeah,
what is going to be the play call?
A 56-yard field goal in this kind of weather, not likely to happen. I don't even know if Kerry Spear could have done that, who I think set the state record back in, when was it? 2009 or 10, something, maybe 8.
I'm not sure.
He kicked for Mayfield. I was actually at that game when he did it. It was really cool. But here we go, Jamie. 4th and 1 from the 39. This is a huge play for both teams. Purchase in motion now settles back down. Now it's McKnight. And it is to Bowman, and Bowman up ahead gets it.
I think he does, you're right, yep. Line judge right there.
And he's holding his ankle on the ground.
He needed a yard and a half, and he got 2. And there goes head coach Mitch Hewitt.
Do not want to see that, Jamie.
Well, he is his role on offense is actually not his strength on this team. He leads the team in tackles by far.
Absolutely. You look at what DJ Bowman has brought to this squad from a defensive standpoint. And Bowman, 109 total tackles, 58 solo. He has 3 sacks, 5 tackles for losses, an interception, 2 forced fumbles. And boy, he is not able to put much weight on that left
Chardon
leg.
trainer to the left, and then Doc Mendezoon, who is the team physician, on the right. That trainer is Hannah Kopak.
1st and 10, Chardon. as we hope DJ can make it back to the field. Topper's going to pass the football. Max V throwing it up. McKnight there. Touchdown, Toppers! John McKnight, a 37-yard touchdown reception. They don't do it often, but when they do it well.
Wow. A perfect throw, Matt, in stride for John McKnight. And when you are this Akron East team, and you've been practicing all week for this wing tee, that's a backbreaker.
Well, indeed it is. Chardon caught him sleeping. Ziegenfuss with the kick. It is good. So the Hilltoppers take a 14-6 lead here with 9:11 left to go. And Jamie, what a throw by Max Vuyaklia. It's something where, you know, the Hilltoppers.
Did you see the spiral on that?
It was perfect. One of his best passes on the year. Max, by the way, if you were wondering, that is his 5th touchdown pass of the season.
Which is an awful lot. I mean, that's a good number. And what, he's played in 4, 5, 6 games? 6 maybe?
Here's another interesting stat for you. John McKnight, that's his 5th touchdown reception too. Coincidence? I think not.
No, he's John, again, best athlete on the team on offense, and great hands to go with it.
Well, indeed, and now we'll see what Chardon's going to do. They've had the chance to kick off a couple times now to the Dragons, and you know that they really don't want to put it deep. And sometimes, Jamie, you know what? It doesn't kill you if you just kick it out of bounds and give them the ball at the 35.
Well, you're not gonna kick it out of bounds on purpose, but they are certainly doing a strategy where sometimes it's called the squib kick. It's just a line drive, and it's right at those up backs.
Well, Keaton comes set. A high kick, fielded at the 25. Going right side, some running room, 35-40, 45-50. Toward the end zone, and that's going to be a Dragon touchdown. Romeo Felton.
You said it, Matt. The first 2 kicks, they did that squib. They did the line drive. Suddenly, they put it in the air, and that's a costly play. The Dragons will have to go for 2 now. And now Mitch Hewitt, headset off, he's walking away. And what he's saying right now, he's talking to Makar. He's saying, well, I don't know what he's saying, but I know that Mitch, he just threw his visor down. Wow.
Well, this team has had issues with special teams.
Special teams are important to Mitch because he's smart. Those in-between plays, Matt, those make or break you.
Now, the other thing, Jamie, is you just took the lead 14-6, and then you don't even give your defense a chance to come back out on the field before you give it up. And East going to go for the...
They're going to kick an extra point here?
Yeah.
Is that right?
They are. Bengali Kamara out to kick the PAT. The kick is up in the air, and it is good.
It's an interesting decision.
Well, you know, Jamie, it could be just a case where they don't feel that they need to go for 2 at this stage, too.
Well, obviously, maybe that's the right call. It just it certainly goes against all of our instincts.
I completely understand where you're coming from that, because you're thinking, okay, tie this game up now. But for Coach Hayes, it also shows that he's got some confidence, because he's thinking, okay, we're going to be getting into that end zone more times in this game, to where if we need to, we can make it up at some point in time. The problem is, if his team doesn't, and this is the final score.
Well,
I don't think it's going to be. But
this will not be the final score. We know that for sure. But it certainly could have an impact. We will see.
Well, the other thing that it's going to do, Jamie, with 8:58 left to play here in this second quarter, it's going to bring the Chardon offense back out onto the field. And if the Hilltoppers can have a time-consuming drive here, and you look at we talked about this at the very beginning, the small roster size for East. If they start to get worn down with a long, punishing drive, that's going to benefit the Toppers going into the third and fourth quarters. That being said, the Hilltoppers have also shown a number of times this year an ability for quick strikes. High end over end kick. McKnight fields it near the 1. Coming up 10, 15, toward the sideline, 30.
Go, John.
McKnight up to the 35, and there's a late flag.
Don't know what this might be. That's a hold. Certainly, doesn't seem like there was anybody around him for that official, but regardless, Matt, you can follow us as always on Twitter, GTV Replays. And when you go to our website, geaugatv.org, make sure you sign up for our email service. That way, when we set our schedule, you'll be the first to know. And Matt, we are absolutely heading into not only the football feast of November, but the holiday time in December. I know that our camera guys love all the time spent on that.
Brian loves going into the old closet and busting out the elf costume. First and 10 Toppers from the 25. They'll run the football, get just a couple.
Well, now that we're past Halloween, I mean, we're here, Matt.
I understand.
Chardon Snow coming soon to a driveway near you. Trust me.
More near
Very
you than
soon.
me.
Yeah, right. I think hopefully Chris has got the oil changed on his snowblower.
2nd and 7 from the 28. Toppers will go to McKnight. McKnight right side up near the 35, just shy of the first down. Actually, they're going to say he got it. I thought they were going to maybe say 34 and a half, but they gave him the 35, Jamie. And that's what you want to see from Chardon. Get that first down.
Right, get that first down. And Matt, I think you're absolutely right in the sense that we've now seen East is going to be a big play team, so keep them off the field.
Now, so many times you hear the best defense is your offense. Hilltoppers, it's Max V around the right side, and Fuya Clea out of bounds around the 40, picks up about 4 or 5 yards on that run near side. You know, Max was in a kind of a weird situation, Jamie. You go back to that South game, a game in which the Hilltoppers just whooped up on the Rebels 52-27. But in that game, it was a return of Andrew Kobacheski. And Kobe came out, scored a touchdown. In the course of that game, and I can't recall now if it was late first, I think it was, I beg your pardon, early second quarter, where he injured his knee. Max calling an audible now on 2nd and 2 from the 43. And the Hilltoppers are going to call a timeout as they were sending James Pettyjohn in motion. But coming off the bench in that one, Max comes out, leads his team to a couple scores. Third quarter begins, and it's Kobacheski who's back out on the field. And you can tell that he was struggling. He was having a tough time. Tried to do what he could. Unfortunately, in the third quarter, late in the third, took a step and tore his ACL. And you hated to see it. Such a great kid, a wonderful football player. But it was, at that time, it was up to Max again. And Max came in, led the team to a victory, led them to a 42-12 home victory against Brush. And then in the Kenston game, we saw Kobe come out again wearing a brace on his knee. Unfortunately, it just wasn't effective in that game, took a couple big hits, and the knee just wasn't able to hold up to the pounding that he wanted it to. And Max V again back in the spotlight, now leading them here in this playoff game.
Yeah, Max has got those white sleeves, those long sleeves. I think he's up to the task tonight.
Now 2nd and 2 from the 43. Novak gets the call. Novak gets the first down across the 45 to the 47-yard line.
Needed 2.5, and he got 3.
Now first down, Hilltoppers. They move the chain. You see the clock will start up at 6:58 once they set the chains. There it goes. And right now, this clock is the Hilltoppers' best friend in this second quarter. Novak, McKnight, and Pettyjohn.
High snap.
And it's McKnight that keeps it himself. McKnight straight ahead.
That was that Wildcat. You know, it catches us off guard when we've been doing these games, Matt, but
it shouldn't, but it does.
It shouldn't, but there are a number of times, and actually, look, McKnight's back in as the quarterback, so he is the guy.
Well, they have run that Wildcat to perfection at times this year. 1st and 10 now from the Dragon 43. McKnight will fake the handoff straight ahead, and John McKnight crosses the 40 up near the 37-yard line. You look at what John McKnight has meant to this team. Go ahead, Jamie.
No, it was just Max V coming back into the game. He took that play directly from offensive coordinator Frank Hall, and then he took a second round of advice from Mitch Hewitt. Not sure what's going on here, but some good guys.
So check this out. Brady Toth, when he comes in the game, you have to watch out for him because he has thrown a pass as a receiver, essentially an end-around receiver pass. We saw that against Kenston. Purchase in motion. This time it's to Novak. Novak straight ahead again, close to the first down. Might be a yard short. But, Jamie, we're starting to now see the Hilltoppers where the last couple drives just straight ahead up the middle, they weren't gaining much yards, a couple yards here, a couple yards, but now it's back to about 3-4 yards a carry up the middle. And you have to wonder if maybe they're starting to wear the Dragons out a little bit. You see some of their guys already hands on their hips.
Well, absolutely. We've got actually really nice weather considering what this week has brought. And yet the running game is going to be a strength.
Now 3rd and 1 from the 34. Max V gets the first down on his feet, breaks a couple tackles, and Max Clea across the 25 down to the 24-yard line.
Those Hilltopper cheerleaders right now talking out in front of the crazies as they head toward that north end zone, toward the scoreboard, Matt, with 4:30 and counting.
Now here we go, 1st and 10 from the 24. McKnight left side trying to get around the end, and John McKnight going to be stopped. Couldn't quite turn the corner. Tariq Williamson in on that stop, and Jamie, right there, we saw the athletic speed of East.
Yeah, and they've got that, Matt. I mean, there's no question about it. I think man to man, and Coach Hewitt said it. They're better. You know, if this was a combine, they would be more athletic. There's no question.
Well, good thing for Chardon is it's not Hilltoppers up 14-13,
right.
2nd and 10.
Irrelevant.
They will try to run the football, and they will be stopped in on that tackle. Number 22, Jonathan Russell, the fullback and defensive lineman, gets the call, or gets the stop, I should say.
And here's what I will say. And now, we had a chance to talk to Akron East coaches, Coach Hayes, Sales, Knight, Coleman, and Clopton. But the Hilltoppers coaches, they've been working very hard for a week.
No, it's a group that's been together for a long time, too. Now 3rd and 10 from the 24. Vuyaclea from the gun. McKnight to his right. Now check that, McKnight going in motion. They fake it to McKnight. Max V going to be brought down by the ankles. Getting in on that stop was Robert White. And boy, going to bring up a 4th and 10 for Chardon.
Always difficult as WeWereAthletes is now coming out of the game, Matt. So this is going to be a wildcat 4th and 10.
Indeed, McKnight, he will have Novak to his left. And McKnight, the end around, Brady Toth. This is the play we saw in Kenston. Going to throw it toward the end zone. Coming back for it and making the touchdown catch. The Hilltoppers with the touchdown. James Pettyjohn, another touchdown catch.
Matt, that play didn't work at all, and yet it was thrown in such a way where the defensive back was there, and because he was so there, he fell down. Pettyjohn makes that catch. Unbelievable.
Wow, the Hilltoppers.
Thrown so far behind, but doesn't matter. What a play. Amazing.
Now this is an important PAT. They all are going to be in this game. The kick is down, it's underway, it is up, and it is good. With 2:26 to go, the Hilltoppers take a 21-13 lead.
We talk about the breaks, okay? Akron East fumbles the opening kickoff. That costs them, for sure. They commit a couple of penalties, and then on that particular play, like you said, yeah. Now you saw it, Matt. You saw it coming. However, it's not a good pass. It's way behind the receiver. He still makes the catch though, and so Chardon getting breaks.
Indeed, and Jamie, I'm looking at my notes right here from that Kenston game. 1:14 to go before halftime. Brady Toth, that exact play, a 31-yard touchdown pass to Jacob Urbeck. So that is Pettyjohn's first touchdown reception of the year.
James is a sophomore, Matt. He's 5'9", 155 pounds, and what a catch. Way to stay with the ball.
I'm sure it has a name to it, but I'm calling that Kenston play.
You said it. You don't usually get wide receivers who throw the football, but is he now 2 for 2 with 2 touchdowns?
Brady Toth on the year. And you got to admit, Brady Toth is not a split end on this team. He's a quarterback. No doubt about that. But Toth is 2 of 3 now on the year.
Jeez.
2 touchdowns.
Thank you to Gary Parrish, who keeps the statistics for Chardon and does such a great job of keeping us up to date.
He pulls some of the best stuff, including a few things we can't say. Ziggins
what a
kick
there.
Gonna get that one into the end zone, no doubt about that.
Boy, Akron East, they just assumed that Chardon wouldn't go deep again because of what happened last time with Felton. And yet, let Ziegenfuss with a big leg. Let's talk a minute about that family, Matt, because we have been doing this now for a while. You look at, we start with what is it, Ethan or Mason?
Was Mason, no, Ethan, then Mason.
First Ethan, then Mason. Of course, these kids can also play football, but as kickers, the Ziegenfuss family has changed Chardon special teams now for 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, and Keaton will be back for one more year. Here we go, 1st and 10 from the 20, 2:26 to go. A little bit of a low snap. Williams going to throw a little bit of a bubble screen, incomplete. Was looking that time for Deshaun Jones. And Jamie, it's amazing what you can do when you've got a great kicking team.
Huge. I mean, it makes it such a big difference.
Now, a lot of media attention lately has gone to Kenston's kicker. And, understandably why. Their first female football player in the program, Anna Sanders.
Chardon's had one, remember?
Yeah, Riley Tatanetti.
Yeah, absolutely.
Toppers did it first. Williams dropping back the pass, going to throw a screen. Ball's caught at the 20, 25-30, 35-40, makes a cut, 45-50, still on his feet, staying in bounds, makes another cut. No, officials say he's out. Out around the 35-yard line, Romeo Felton.
He steps on the line. Wow.
And Jamie,
nobody was going to tackle him. Nobody.
the Hilltoppers on that last drive took more than 5 minutes off the clock, and the problem is they left 2:26 on the clock. And right there, the speed and athleticism of East. You saw them, that screen formation. A lot of guys were going after Kyrie Williams there.
That was Felton again.
Yeah.
Matt, like you said, I mean, Romeo Felton is quite a guy. Is he one of those Division I guys? He's only a junior.
He is not. It is Williams, Reese, and Kamara. They flip it right side, trying to round the end and doing it. 35-30, first down East. As that time it was Richel McAllister, the sophomore, 5'9", 165.
East only with one timeout left. They had to use a couple early on for reasons with their just getting things together. So they've got plenty of time, though.
Indeed they do, and the Toppers defense looking now to make a stop. It's 1st and 10 East on the Hilltopper 23. 2 minutes to go before halftime. Williams up the middle, and the linebackers get him near the 20. Vince Ferrante gets credit for that stop. Invite you folks to stick around during halftime because we will have the Dragon Marching Band first and then the fine, fine sounds of your Hilltopper Marching Band. What a performance last week. See what they can do this week. They're going to go right side. Ball is caught for a first down, and still battling for yardage was Trammell, I believe. Yep. So that'll temporarily stop the clock with 1:20 to go. No, he got out of bounds, so it will stop the clock. Two receivers right side, two to the left, and one back in the backfield for Williams. Williams will fake the handoff, looking to make a cut up the middle, and Williams toward the end zone. Is he in? No, but he's going to be stopped maybe a yard or two shy.
It's pretty impressive, Matt, when you think about this Akron East team and how quickly they can put the ball in a scoring position.
Toppers bringing in the big boy, Jacob Carver. He's their nose tackle, 340 pounds. Goal line situation. It's 1st and goal. Akron trying to go around the left end, and they got it.
They got it. Now with 38 seconds, what is Coach Hayes going to do? He's not going to kick the extra point again, right?
Well, we'll find out.
Pretty incredible. We'll see. He might.
I'm not sure who it was that had that 1-yard touchdown run, but somebody did.
Well, that was the quarterback.
So that was Williams, okay.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a... And they're going to kick it again. Wow. Just wow.
Interesting. Toppers burn one of their timeouts.
Yeah, not exactly sure why, but this has been a really fun back and forth game, Matt, and like we've said, we really thought that NDCL was going to go to the playoffs, but they really had a false start against Benedictine. That cost them.
All that and the
Lake Catholic.
Yep.
And so,
Well, and it's funny, you look back to last year in Division III, Region 9, which is where we're at. Kenston, with 2 losses, couldn't make it.
right, absolutely, 8-2, but the Hilltoppers here at 7-3 and playing this home game. Remember, after this week, we go to neutral sites, and they're going to kick. They're going to kick that extra point. Wow.
So Bengali Kamara with the PAT. He hit it. He hit. No. Wow, it hit the post and was no good.
That is the second extra point that they've missed. And so when you play that kind of conservative game that Coach Hayes is trying to play right now, you do it because you've got faith in your kicker. But my goodness.
Well,
this could really.
Jamie, it's now to a point where when they score their next touchdown, they've got to start going for 2.
Well,
You'd think.
I mean, this is also a team that's offense has been so good. So
yeah.
Why would you put, they've got a kid who's number 55 kicking off. He's an offensive lineman. Why would you think that your special teams is a strength? It's not. I don't quite get it.
I have no answer for you there.
I don't quite get it. Hey, doesn't matter though. It helps Mitch Hewitt and his coaching staff.
Indeed. You look at, though, you talk about the Akron East offense. They put up 48-0 against Springfield, 41 points against Kenmore, 40 against Firestone, 55 against Ellett, and 52 against North. Other than that, they've been held to 14, 24, 20. They had a game where they scored 39, and last week, just 12 points in a loss against Buchtel. Which, boy, how good is Buchtel's defense to hold this team to 12 points? There's a strong kick, and McKnight will take it near the 10. McKnight, a little bit of running room, makes a cut. McKnight holds on to the football, trying to take some guys with him near midfield, and the Hilltoppers may have a shot here with 28 seconds left to go.
They have a timeout, and boy, almost a big mistake there by Akron. They were looking for the strip, and almost missed the tackle.
Officials will spot the ball on the Hilltopper 49-yard line with 28 seconds left to go. Do remember, Hilltoppers will get the ball to start the third quarter, so let's see what Chardon's going to do here. Vuyaklia under center will hand the ball off. Novak right side, just a couple yards.
And they're going to take it in. Just take it in. You know, and I think, well, we'll see. Maybe Mitch wants to run one more play. He's going to use a timeout with 17 seconds, so they are going to take that timeout, try to run another play.
Now, according to the scoreboard, that's their final timeout of this half.
You don't trust the scoreboard, man?
I'm just saying, according to I wasn't keeping track of timeouts, Jamie.
That is their last timeout, and we should thank. I actually don't know who's running that scoreboard, but we know that Al Herner and his son is inside with Kyle Martin. They're doing the PA announcing. What is Al Herner's son's name? It is.
Don't look at me.
Right.
Sorry.
Phenomenal basketball player.
Toppers essentially maybe one play here if it's a running play with 17 seconds left to go before halftime. You got to wonder what they're going to do. Vuyaklia brings the play out, gets them all set, empties out the backfield. We have not seen this all year. Trips near side, Twins left, over the middle, and the ball incomplete, was thrown well in front of his intended receiver, was looking for Cade McDivitt. Stops the clock with 14 seconds left to go. Now 3rd down and 8, and Jamie.
That's not a good play at all. Partly because if somebody in the secondary intercepts that ball, they could take it all the way down. So Coach Hall, his headset is off. Coach Hewitt's is off.
Well, with it being 3rd down and 8, though, still might be time for East to get the ball back since they do have a timeout. McKnight right side, 45, McKnight 40, 1st down.
He's in bounds, I think. Let's see.
No, they stopped the clock.
Stopped it on a 1st down, but was he out of bounds? I think he might have been, according to, no, he's not. So the clock is going to start now with 8 seconds. And 3, 2, and that's going to be it now.
Well, we will head into halftime with the score. Chardon 21 and Akron East 19. Boy, what a half it was for the Hilltoppers, as they have done some really good things offensively. 2 passing touchdowns in this game. Perhaps the most surprising statistic of all. What does the second half have to bring? Well, only time will tell. Again, we invite you to stick around, folks, because the bands are coming up next. But first, we're going to pause and thank our wonderful sponsors here for bringing you this playoff game right here on GTV.
Chardon Hilltopper football is brought to you by the Chardon Hilltopper Gridiron Club, Achilles Running Shop, Advanced Mechanical, Arms Trucking Company, Ashes Mayfield Window Cleaning Company, Chardon ATA Martial Arts, Burr Funeral Home and Cremation Service, CCM Rental, Chardon Smile Center, The Connick Law Firm, El Patron Mexican Grill and Cantina, Foot and Ankle Specialists of Ohio, Hazen Contracting, Just for Kids Childcare, Keller Williams Realty, Precision Orthopedic Specialties, Residence Artists, Ronyak Paving, Waste Management, and by GTV.
Good evening. Under the direction of Mark Baer, Michelle Watson, and Debbie Staple, we're proud to introduce the Chardon Hilltopper Marching Band. The band is being led onto the field this evening by Drum Major Stanley Pychalk. Tonight, the band is taking you on a journey through rock and roll history. To lead off our show is a song from 1984 by the Scorpions. Here's Rock You Like a Hurricane. Our next song features our talented Topperettes with Captains Dominic Malaro and Morgan Dannison. This song gives a great account of a ban on Western music by the Arabian King. As a protest, the pilots flying over the plane over the airspace starts playing rock and roll music on their cockpit radios. Inspired by this event is the hit song called Rock the Casbah by The Clash. And to end our show this evening is a song that went to #1 on the charts in 1986 by the New Jersey band Bon Jovi, featuring our talented majorettes Tori Holt, Sierra Huff, Hallie Mezikor, and featured twirler Grace Large. Get ready to rock to Livin' on a Prayer. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the Chardon High School fight song.
Well, we return to action here as the third quarter set to begin. The Toppers will receive the kickoff.
Let's go, Sam!
Matt Jaworski, Jamie Ward with you here on GTV. What a great job by the Hilltopper Marching Band as those young men and women, 11 straight excellent performances by them. 11th Friday that we've gotten to see them, or at least hear them, if you will, on GTV, and we certainly appreciate their effort and dedication as well. Now as we begin this third quarter, the Toppers up by 2, 21-19. Folks, think about this for a second. When was the last time the Hilltoppers had more passing touchdowns than rushing touchdowns? Because that's the way it's gone so far tonight. High kick, a little bit short. McKnight takes it across the 20. McKnight, running room, going to bounce it out near side 40. McKnight 45, near midfield, and he gives the Hilltoppers some great starting field position. So 1st and 10, Chardon. Max Vuyaklia and the offense back out on the field. Hilltoppers, 7-3 record this year, ranked 4th in Division III Region 9, the 16th year that they have been in the state playoff tournament. Vuyaklia sends McKnight in motion. They will give it to McKnight, trying to cut the corner, turns it upfield around the 45, and McKnight takes it to about the 43-yard line. Of course, Chardon, 2 state of final appearances, the 1994 state champions, overall playoff record of 25-14, and 4 East, a squad that finished 8-2 this year, comes in as the 5th-ranked team in Division III Region 9. Just their 2nd year in the tournament. Last appearance was in 2016 as well. Purchase now in motion, and they will give it to the last man through, who may or may not get the first down. This is going to depend on the spot. The one official says first down, so the Toppers will get it. But East, a 1-1 playoff record overall. Chardon comes set 1st and 10 from the 41. Max V spun around in the backfield and dropped for a loss. Boy, getting in there quick and making that tackle was Darrell Glover. One of the few times Max Vuyaklia has been stopped for a, well, they're going to say a, 3-yard loss on the play back to the 44-yard line. So makes 2nd and 13 now from the 44.
This is, Matt, this is a 2-point game, but this is really just a brand new game in a way for the second half.
Well, indeed it is. Going to be interesting to see what adjustments both teams make. McKnight going to throw the ball. He threw a lame duck pass, going to fall short as that time he was looking for Brady Toth.
That looked like a running back throwing the football.
And it looked like a wounded duck flying in the air. No offense to John. But
I don't think that fooled anybody.
You know, it didn't, but something like that may keep East a little bit true later on in this contest.
Possibly.
East was starting to pile guys in the box, and now they're bringing them out a little bit as they've got 8 guys in the box instead of 9 or 10 as we've seen. Max V flushing out near side, going to throw the ball. It is caught.
Akron East says incomplete, but...
Well, they're not the officials. McKnight, a nice catch.
Correct.
Jamie, that's going to be shy of the first down, though. The ball will be placed on the 34-yard line, beg your pardon. Going to be a 4th down and 3. So 10-yard pickup on the play.
Important play. We talk about this is a new game, and this is a new play.
Well,
they will decide this game.
They went for it once on 4th down, and they hit it. It was a touchdown pass. Let's see what they'll do now. McKnight in motion. And Max V going to take it, trying to get around the end. He is stuffed, and he is hit hard.
There's a
flag. There's a couple of them.
That's a flag, and that's going to give Chardon a first down. Vuaklia. He goes down, and then that's helmet to helmet, Matt. The football has changed. That call is now always made, and that's going to really benefit Chardon.
Well, that has riled up the fans who were a little bit quieter than normal in this first half. They might have just been pacing themselves and waiting.
Yeah, after the play. First down. Coach Mitch Hewitt, again, as you can see right now, talking to the officials. And, you know, he's upset because he's looking after his guys, and that was a dangerous play.
Yeah, you could say it was very close to targeting. However...
Wait, what happened?
They're going to say because the foul occurred after the play, it'll back him up 15 yards.
And now Mitch Hewitt is out, so he's got his headset off.
It's a turnover on downs is what it is because the play had finished. And then you move the ball back 15 yards for the late hit. Or excuse me, for the personal foul. So the Hilltoppers now go out and have to bring in the defensive unit following the turnover on downs. It's 1st and 10 East from the 21. And they'll give it up right side around the 20, 25, 30. There's a flag, 40. And a tackle made out near the 45-yard line.
That is Ricktel McAllister, number 12. And it is a hold, so it'll come all the way back.
So some penalties have hurt East here. So it'll be a first down and going to be an awfully long situation for the Dragons. First and 19 officially. Ball from the 12. Topper fans starting to make some noise here. Topper Nation in the house. Williams, Kyrie going to try to keep himself right side, running room. Down the sidelines and very close to the first down as he's out of bounds near the 30.
Once again, he gets it, Matt, and big play capability right now.
Well, East when they have been able to turn the corner, they have picked up a lot of yards. See what they do here. 1st and 10 from the 31. Williams, right side, and picks up about 5, maybe 6 on that play.
Keeper right again from the beginning. And, you know, the biggest play guy for the Dragons in that first half, Matt, is Romeo Felton, number 8. But obviously Kyrie Williams is another one of those guys. We've seen Ricktel McAllister. And Chardon's going to have to stay solid.
Well, we'll see what they've got going here. It's 2nd down and 5 now from the 36. East down by 2. They trail the Hilltoppers 21-19. Chardon, a turnover on downs on their first possession of the second half. Going to be a screen out near side. 35-40 and out of bounds was Robinson. Should be enough for the first down. It is. Move those chains.
We've seen the Dragons run that screen successfully. You know, they've only thrown the ball downfield a couple of times, one of which was a touchdown. But both of these teams, almost like they're still keeping something there, waiting.
Yeah. Well, this is an East team, though, that they have done a lot of damage on the ground throughout the year. And Williams going to go forward again. Running room, Williams tries to go through the linebackers and eventually gets dragged down. Boy, it took about 4 or 5 Hilltoppers to bring him down.
Well, you look at Williams, Matt, I mean, 5'10", 195.
Now, Bowman, who leads the Hilltoppers in tackles, is hanging on for dear life.
It's nice to see Bowman back in the game, because when he came off in that second quarter, it looked like he might be done.
1st and 10 clock running, 7:45 and counting here, third quarter, 21-19 Hilltoppers. They're going to pitch it off, right side, around the end, and being brought down after, that was Richel McAllister. Might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. I thought maybe they'd have him for a loss.
John Paglio almost made that tackle in the backfield, but still, he was able to push him out and get some teammates there.
Oh, they will say a loss of 1 on the play. Makes it 2nd down and 11 from the Hilltopper 47-yard line. So the Chardon defense looking to make another stop here on 2nd and 11. They've given up some big plays on this drive. Williams, another screen, and the Hilltoppers snuff it out. Not much that Felton could do there.
Again, that's Romeo Felton. He's got a big touchdown today. He's a playmaker, but no confusing the Hilltoppers there.
It was Cole Purchase who made the loss. Going to bring up 3rd down and long as ball back on midfield. They need to get to the 37, so that'll make it 3rd down and about 13.
Wow, and Akron East is going to have to burn a timeout right here halfway through that third quarter. And Matt, in the type of game that we've seen tonight, that could cost them in some way. But just want to thank again our funding communities. As always, those not funding tonight's contest as well. They are Burton Village, Middlefield Village, the City of Chardon, Munson Township, Hamden Township, and Chardon Township. Thanks again for funding GTV. And thanks again for supporting us as we are in week 11, Matt. The full season. You did it.
We did it. We brought you all the Hilltoppers football games on audio, and we had a select number of Hilltopper games with the moving pictures, the video. Of course, you did a couple other games as well. I believe, Lake Catholic NDCL, and then the Kinsman Cup.
Yeah, last week, Cardinal a winner. You think about that weather last week, certainly better tonight than it was.
Well, this is a pivotal third down play for the Topper defense. They want to get a stop here. Up by 2, 21-19. It's third down and 14 from midfield for the Dragons. Topper showing a little bit of blitz off the corner. Bringing some pressure. Williams over the middle. It's caught for a first down and a little bit of running room. And the Dragons out near the 30-yard line as they had a big pass play on that completion. I think it was Jones who made the catch.
A successful pitch and catch again, Matt. Again, they haven't thrown the ball downfield a lot, but it seems like it could be there. Let's see what they have 3 offensive coordinators, according to Coach Hayes. I'm not exactly sure how that works.
Well, Williams going right side, tripped up, and Williams gets to about the 30-yard line, pickup of maybe about 2 or 3 on that play. Jamie, maybe it's whoever he thinks has the best play at that particular time. Give me 3 play guys, I'll pick the best one.
Coach Sales, Coach Knight, and Coach Coleman. Again for Akron East, the Dragons.
But you think about it, I mean, Hilltoppers with a couple defensive coordinators, or co-coordinators.
That's true.
2nd and 7 now for East from the Hilltopper 30. They're going to throw it on the receiver screen, caught near side, and going ahead for a gain was Deshaun Jones. Jones out near the 25. Nathaniel Salka, name we haven't had a chance to call much tonight, making the stop. And boy, Nathaniel Salka stepped up as a freshman, started this season. And, you know, right now he's playing in the secondary, but Jamie, that ain't going to last long because I got a feeling next couple years, the way that kid continues to grow, we're going to probably be seeing him in the linebackers or up on the defensive line. He's a good young football player. 3rd and 4 from the 26. Williams running room toward the end zone, and he is in. The Dragons have taken the lead.
That was a direct snap. They've been running that quarterback draw. This one was much more forward, but Kyrie Williams, again, what an athletic young man over that left side.
Now
And
Williams,
so 4-point lead, Matt. Now they're going to go for 2. Very interesting.
it would be great if Chardon could stop him on 4th. Williams going to pitch it off. They're looking to throw the football toward the corner. It is caught for the 2-point conversion.
That's Collins to the quarterback, Williams. Williams is in the shotgun. He goes in motion. Trick play. Works. And so Hilltoppers now trail by 6. But Matt, you know, not a bad place to be.
Well,
good drive though for the Dragons. You can see why this team is in the playoffs.
so with 4:11 to play here in the 3rd quarter, East has taken the lead for the very first time in this game. And right now, if you're Chardon, you were stopped your first time on offense. The question is, what have you got this time around? Hilltoppers would like to see some points on the scoreboard. And Jamie, they nearly benefited from a personal foul call on the last drive. Unfortunately, it was ruled because it happened after the play that it was assessed against the Dragons' offense.
This is one of those things, Matt. Here's the thing. Dave Jevnikar, ultimately, he's going to send us an email so that we can clear all this up. But I don't.
It's an offsides kick. Hilltoppers will cover it up across midfield. Getting up there to make the stop for Chardon was Jacob Gaspar.
Yeah, who is the nephew of the fire chief here in town. But I just don't know if that's the right assessment. Probably is. Dave will let us know. Brian Foster says it is.
Oh, Brian knows the rule book, like Big Chuck and Little John know all their thousands of skits. I mean, come on.
Great field position here, though, for the Hilltoppers.
Well, you want to see Chardon make something out of this. It's 1st and 10 on the 49 of East. Handoff McKnight. McKnight cuts it up the middle. McKnight 45-40. McKnight on his feet 35. Bouncing out left side. Someone's got him from behind. 20. McKnight 10. Turns in the burst. Touchdown Toppers! John McKnight. I thought he wasn't going to get caught. And then Jamie, he kicked it into overdrive.
Just like that, the senior comes back. And now, you've got Keaton Ziegenfuss. Hold up there. He's going to come on for an extra point here, even though it's a 1-point game. This will be a 2-point game.
Well, Coach Hewitt going to call a timeout now.
He's going to call a timeout. He looked over at his sidelines. He was frustrated that somebody didn't sort of speak up to let him know, because this is an obvious 2-point conversion at this point in the game. So, it's interesting. We've seen both of these teams struggle with these decisions. And if this game keeps playing itself out, that's going to be the difference. I mean, Akron East has missed 2 extra points.
Yeah, Akron East missing the 2 PATs. You have Chardon that gave up a 75-yard kickoff return. And in a situation like this now, Jamie, as Coach Hewitt now talking with the officials, and I'm not even sure what he's fired up there on the field.
Oh, Mitch Hewitt fired up right now. And so they're actually now going to kick it. They're going to kick it. Wow.
I don't
know
what happened there. The offense was ready to come out on the field. They were mostly out there.
The scoreboard was wrong, Matt. The scoreboard was incorrect. So Chardon,
the kick, someone got a hand on it, but it gets through. Hilltoppers up 28-27.
They put the wrong score on the scoreboard. Chardon uses a timeout because they thought it was a 1-point game, but it was a tie game.
Well, Jamie, I didn't even look at the scoreboard to catch that.
Well, you look at the scoreboard because you assume that it's right, but it wasn't. And it cost Chardon a timeout, though. The good news is they got the extra point and they're ahead by 1. So they fixed what was a potential.
Well, the issue with that, you're supposed to have home field advantage, and by that, you hope that things are going to be right.
Well,
mistakes happen. I'm going to say mistakes do happen, but right now for Chardon, boy, that could prove to be very costly. You hope it doesn't come back to get him at the end.
Well, again, they did the right thing. It just cost them a timeout. So hopefully that means nothing, but ultimately the right decision was made, and that's what's most important.
Well, it's a 1-point lead for Chardon, 28-27. 3 minutes and 58 seconds left to go in this game. John McKnight touchdown runs of 7 and 49 yards. He also has a 37-yard touchdown reception as well. James Pettyjohn, a 24-yard touchdown reception. That accounts for Chardon's 4 touchdowns in this one.
Big plays. That's what we've seen tonight, but on both sides. And, of course, this defense needs to be very careful with what they do right now.
Line drive kick into the end zone, and Ziegenfuss, that's a great kick because you're bringing East back out to the 20.
Akron East did return that kick for a touchdown. Matt, hey, exciting time, of course, coming up. It's now November, which means we're going to have our playoff time, our pep rally coverage, and also our, I think it's called the Football Feast, 4-day event where we replay some of the best football games that we've had over the last 20-plus years here on GTV. You can watch the pep rally that was this morning for this particular game. And actually, we've got 2 sophomore cross-country runners, Andrea Mann and Brianna Neesett, who both qualified for the state meet, but they actually pushed that back to November the 10th. It was supposed to be this Saturday, or the Saturday closest to us. It got pushed back to November 10th because of the rain. So at home, it's not just you. It's actually rained that much over the last few days.
Running play for East, a lot of room across the 30, and first down for Felton out near the 31-yard line. Winner of this game will go on to most likely, assuming there's no upset, Jamie, play Canfield.
They're the #1 seed, and Chardon's already played them once this year.
Give right side McAllister across the 40, 45, still on his feet. Nearly the entire Hilltopper team, everybody but one player. Nieders was a guy that couldn't get there, but 11 or 10 Hilltoppers.
That's coming back. It's holding, Matt.
Jamie, I'm just impressed that he was up against 10 Hilltoppers. That's a lot of strength and athleticism.
Well, there's a reason he had a really nice running lane.
Well, that too. You look at what Chardon did in those first 4 games of the year when they started off 1-3. And it was turnovers that haunted them. It was bad penalties. So far tonight, it's been penalties that have hurt East, but not that much because they're only down by 1 at this point in time. However, I say that, and you got to remember, the Hilltoppers lost 2 games where they've had some bad penalties by 1 point. Kyrie Williams from the gun will hand it off Felton right side. Felton trying to turn the corner. He does. Felton running from 30, 35, 40. Boy, for as much as they've put themselves down, Jamie, East just continuing to shred the Chardon defense.
You know, running downhill, Felton got the corner. These are big play guys. And right now it comes down to there's about 5 guys total in this game that are going to make the difference.
2nd and 2 from the 38. Pistol formation for the Dragons. They'll hand it off, last man through. First down across the 40. Midfield, he might have hit one of the officials. But the Dragons will have the ball right near midfield here with about 2:19 to play in this 3rd quarter. Jamie, coming into tonight, the Hilltoppers were giving up on average 140 yards per game. Actually rounded up to 141. As a nice move through the hole. Is there a fumble on the ground? No. Officials say runner was down.
Now we've seen some fumbles today. It's interesting. We knew that Chardon was not going to throw the ball a lot, but Akron doesn't throw the ball a lot either.
No. Hilltoppers defense this season giving up about 22 points per game. East has topped that mark. This might be one of the best offenses they have seen all year, with all due respect to Kenston and Canfield. And the Perry Pirates. Can't forget about Perry. Williams again, another handoff. Felton right side. Felton running room, trying to get through the secondary, being spun around and contained near the 35-yard line. And Jamie, we talked about the Hilltopper offense potentially wearing down the Dragons defense, but for as much running as East is doing.
No huddle now, Matt.
Well, are they going to start to wear down Chardon?
This is a new look.
Felton makes a cut, spun around, breaks a tackle, but can't get through those two guys. Looked like Nathaniel Salka was one of them in on the stop. Actually, it was Wade Novak, I beg your pardon.
Akron East, Matt, actually, I think I made a slight on them in the beginning of the game for their crowd, but they filled out pretty nicely.
Yeah, considering. You know, they probably just got caught in traffic coming up here.
Sure, yeah. Well, it's not, there's no direct shot.
No, there is not. 76 is a mess with all the construction on it. Kyrie Williams tries to go straight ahead, a flag down as he was tripped up from behind.
That's our line judge who will come in. And now there's a line judge and a linesman, and they're going to convene. And that's what I think is a legal procedure, a legal formation.
So wave that play off, back up the Dragons 5 yards from the line of scrimmage there.
Matt, we've got 12 seconds left here in this third quarter.
Now,
and does it feel like whoever gets the ball last might win this game?
I've had that feeling for a few minutes now, Jamie. Here's something else to ponder. Hilltoppers have led for all but 13 seconds in this game.
Mitch Hewitt out on the field, Matt, to greet this defense when we come back.
Chardon Hilltopper football is brought to you by Dad, Mom, and Taylor Purchase. Congratulate Cole Purchase, #2 on a great season. We are very proud of you. Alvord's Yard and Garden Equipment. B. Anthony's Salon of Chardon. D&S Automotive Collision and Restyling. Defender Auto Glass. The McCaskey Team, Remax Traditions. Union Home Mortgage. Mapledale Farm. Judge Terry Stupica. TKI Tax and Bookkeeping. Mom, Dad, and your superfans, Grammy and Nana, congratulate John McKnight, #7 on a great season. You're the real Johnny Football of Northeast Ohio. Best of luck in the playoffs. And by GTV.
Welcome back, everyone, as we start the final quarter. It is 28-27, the Hilltoppers over the Dragons. And Kyrie Williams from the pistol formation fakes the handoff, looking to throw down the field left side, making the adjustment, making the catch, and heading, well, being tackled shy of the end zone was, I believe that was Felton. No, it couldn't be. That was number 11. Russell, the senior, 6'3", 195.
Boy, he's all of 6'3", Matt, and that's how he caught that football. He just went up, put his arms up.
I believe he was in coverage against Lichty on that far left side. So 1st and goal, Dragons from the 4. Williams looking to run right side toward the end zone. pile of players. Did he get in? No. Officials will stop him short at the 1.
Looked like he dived toward the line. So it's going to be on that 1 foot line, Matt, here on 2nd down and goal. Always difficult in this situation. Get off the field. No, he didn't get off. I don't know. I don't think any official saw it, though, so it doesn't matter.
Now that run attempt going to be once again stopped short.
Wow.
So the Hilltoppers goal line unit.
Nice job.
However, you got to think East is going to go for 2 more tries. Here it's 3rd and goal, and I'd say they've got about maybe a foot and a half. Williams from the gun. And did he get in that time? Yes, he did. With 10:21 to play, the Dragons retake the lead. 33-28.
This is an obvious extra point opportunity, but we've seen so many interesting decisions. I just don't know,
see,
man.
Jamie, I don't agree. I disagree. You have to go for 2 here.
Why? No, you go up by 6.
You make it a 7-point game if you hit 2.
You don't want to be up 5. Wow. Unbelievable.
Toward the end zone, the right side, ball up in the air. Incomplete. The Hilltoppers denied them on the 2-point conversion. And Jamie, the only reason why I say that is if they make that 2-point conversion and then Chardon scores a touchdown, ties it up at 35 all at that point in time. And then you're playing touchdown versus touchdown.
Well, there's just no, extra points are not a given. So,
well, that's true.
big play, though, for the Hilltoppers there on the ball off of the hands. And so now the 5-point game, that's big because now you just need a touchdown. That gives you the lead. Don't have to worry about whether or not we think you should do anything. Just go get the 6.
Well, think about this even more so, Jamie. From here on out, East has to go for 2.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Unless they think they're going to get 2 more extra touchdowns.
We have seen, though, these offenses now are just going down and getting points on each side. So whether it's John McKnight or, on the other side, whether it's Felton or Williams, we are in a back and forth football game right now, and it's pretty fun to watch.
Well, the Hilltoppers have had a number of close games. The 20-19 loss against West G, the 49-43 overtime win against Perry, the 28-27 loss against Riverside, and then 2 weeks ago, the 27-24 thriller over Kenston. You look at East, and they won their opener 14-13 against Jackson.
Return opportunity.
Brought up across the 20, 25-30. Pettyjohn will get no more than maybe the 33. But outside of that, Jamie, they had a 24-17 victory over Hoover in week 3, a 24-20 loss against Dover, and hasn't been close since.
Matt, we don't have a sideline reporter, but McKnight out there as quarterback. I see Max. He's standing right next to Frank Hall. You just wonder if maybe they're going with a different look here in the second half, or
no, we've seen the Wildcat a number of times in this game.
Or maybe Max is hobbled in some way. I don't know.
I got a feeling it's just the Wildcat. They're moving Pettyjohn over to the right wing now. 2 guys going in motion at once, and that's officials spot that an illegal motion on the Hilltoppers.
Well, see, this is part of the problem. So you can say, yeah, Wildcat, that's cool, but when your quarterback's on the game, it can be hard to keep the offense going. So I just we will see what Frank Hall decides to do, but that was a clear, here comes Max again, that was a clear situation where guys didn't know what they were supposed to be doing.
Well, we saw it a couple times against North where, and one of the times they got away with it, 2 guys in motion. 1st and 15 from the 27. Now it's McKnight that goes in motion. They fake the handoff. McKnight. Vuya Clea fumbled the football, and I believe the Dragons picked it up. They did. Each team now with 1 turnover.
We talked about how important the momentum is in the beginning, but obviously turnovers in the 4th quarter actually mean more than they do in the 1st, and that was a really hard one for the Hilltoppers.
Well, with 9:39 left to go, East now with a chance to up their lead. They'll run the football. Felton spinning around, brought down at the 25.
Matt, have we seen a punt tonight?
No. That was the first turnover by Chardon, by the way, since the South game.
Wow. Good for this team, and that's part of the reason why they're here tonight.
Second and 4 from the 25. Dragons. Running it left side, McAllister, 20-15. And McAllister with another first down. Well, the Hilltopper defense has a man down on the field, and that will temporarily stop the clock. It will also take us, Jamie, to a, well, go ahead. Why don't you read that?
Well, just when you're watching this, don't forget, election results on GTV are always here on Tuesday night. Don't forget to vote. Plenty of interesting races locally and statewide, and so make sure that your voice is heard on GTV. Well, you can see the results on GTV. Just make sure that you vote when it comes time. And what? That's Dave. That's Dave. He's just sitting there typing away, right? He's on the Geauga County Board of Elections website, just like everyone else, looking for results. Chris Graw voted today, who's on our up camera. He's the Chardon City Councilman, so.
I believe that was Ryan Collins that he helped off the field, by the way. Could not put any pressure on his leg. Williams trying to run around the right side. Breaks one tackle. Back to the line of scrimmage.
Right now, if you're the Hilltoppers, Matt, here's what there's plenty of time on the clock, so you don't worry about that. Akron East, their kicking game is not good. So even though they're deep right now in the Hilltopper territory, you got to hold, got to make Coach Hayes make a decision on that. And I would like the way that would turn out.
Second and 11 now from the 16. One receiver near side, one to the left. Pistol formation. Williams will hand it off Felton, left side. Felton running toward the sidelines. Felton near the first down marker, should get it as he crosses the 5 near the 4.
Oh, Hilltoppers think they have the football, but I don't know. Officials, I don't think they're on board, Matt.
No.
And we do not have instant replay, so. Well, I mean, we do,
Jamie,
but it doesn't matter.
The officials are actually huddling about this and talking whose ball it is.
Uh-oh. What are they going to? No, they're going to keep it here. Boy. Well, it's good to see them come together. They're obviously a lot closer than we are.
So 1st and goal, Dragons from the 5. Williams gives it to Felton. Felton stopped at the line.
This Hilltopper defense has not, they make a play like that, and they've been doing that, but Akron East continues to break through. Can these young men right now, with these Chardon crazies, I want to hear the crazies.
They're a little quiet.
Yeah.
Actually, a lot quiet. 2nd and goal from the 5. Williams, a man to his left. Oh, the football, picks it up. He's running backwards, running around the left side, and Williams knocked out of bounds for loss of a couple yards. Boy, the Dragons were fortunate. He was able to pick up that bouncing ball.
Still a great play, though, for Chardon. Now it's 3rd down. This is a big play. We'll see where they end up spotting the football, but it looks like it's going to be, on the 8? They're going to have to make a decision if the Hilltoppers can hold here. Remember, Akron East doesn't throw the ball a lot, strangely enough, and I think they really, really want to think about it.
Well, with 6:52 left to play, East will call their 2nd timeout. And at this stage of the game, Jamie, they're up by 1 score, looking to make it 2.
Yeah, well.
And you have to be thinking that, okay, a touchdown here, and Chardon may not have enough time to score twice.
Well, Akron East failed to convert on 3 of their touchdowns, which is why they're only up 5 points right now. They also made some decisions to go for an extra point when maybe they should have gone for 2. So even with the field goal, if they think about it, Hilltoppers are only down 1 score.
Well, for Chardon, though, to even be talking about that, you got to get a stop here on 3rd down and goal from the 8-yard line. And that's where it begins. It's this Hilltopper defense. The season is potentially on the line with this play right here.
Mitch Hewitt in the red long sleeve, and he wants the crowd a little bit right now. Too quiet for Mitch.
It's been like this all season, though, for a lot of the home games. The fans just kind of almost taking this team for granted and not making a lot of noise. Finally, we're hearing the cowbells. Let's go. 3rd and 8, they're going to spread the field near side. Chardon showing blitz. Now they might be backing off. Williams going to keep it himself. Williams trying to go right side. No, he's stopped. Maybe a gain of about a yard on the play, and now it is 4th down.
Right there, that is Jarrett Hall, number 72. Remember, they've missed an extra point. This is harder than that. Let's see what they decide to do. By the way, if you're here in the crowd, it's time to get loud again.
Jamie, here's what you need to remember. Number 20, Armian Robinson is a runner. Now a flag coming out with there too many men on the field. There were.
Illegal substitution. 5 more yards back, and now if you're Coach Hayes, well, I guess you got to try it.
Well, the question is, what is Kumara's range? So we're looking at a 30-yarder right here, middle of the hash marks. Season potentially on the line. Kick is underway. Does it have the distance? No, he missed it. He was wide to the left. The Hilltoppers get a stop with 5:54 to play.
Special teams, Matt, special teams.
Now the kicking game has left something to be said for Akron. And at this stage now,
Some of the fans here, Matt, they give it to McKnight. He's been the guy.
Well, the mission is simple for the Hilltopper offense. You have to come away with a touchdown on this drive. There is no if, and, or but about it. The Hilltoppers do give it to McKnight. McKnight trying to cut the corner, spun out of bounds, and he picked up maybe a yard or two on that play. Hilltopper faithful want to see a face masking penalty. No flags, though, on that play. So with that, it'll be second down and about 8 for Chardon. Toppers. Traditional wing team, McKnight, Novak, and Purchase. Viaclia puts McKnight in motion, gives it to McKnight around the right side. McKnight 25, McKnight 30. First down Toppers as he goes out of bounds.
John McKnight there, Matt, coasting to that first down, and that's not a bad way to be when you know that you've got that distance to go.
Well, the other thing
be calm.
The other thing for the Hilltoppers, Jamie, is you have to be a little bit cognizant of the clock. 5:41 to go. You have 2 timeouts. You have some time.
Matt, there's a lot of time. You know that.
Well, what I was going to say is you don't want to leave too much on the clock if you score. Of course, the big thing is you need to score. It's got to be a touchdown. This time, it's to Purchase. Purchase left side, Purchase across the 40, and Purchase gets a first down, but there's a flag. Holding against Chardon.
That was thrown by our referee with that white hat. Devastating penalty.
Going to be a 20-yard penalty for all intent and purpose. Wipes out the first down and moves him back 20 yards from the spot of that foul. First and 21, Chardon. Ball near side hash marks. Max V rolling out, looking to throw down the field into double coverage. McKnight coming back, makes the catch! Oh, the official said no! I thought McKnight had it.
Underthrown, you know, he's not complaining. So that kind of tells you something, but we've seen a couple balls tonight, Matt, where maybe just underthrow it and let the better athlete go get it.
So it's now second down and 21 Hilltoppers. They trail 33-28. McKnight the carry right side, stiff arm, trying to cut the corner. McKnight out of bounds and picked up very few, if any, yards on that play.
Great contain there by Akron East. And what do we have? There's a Dragon who is down.
Well, this will give Chardon a little bit of time to regroup here. You're facing a third down and about 21.
That's not Chardon's, that's not really in their playbook for the most part.
You know, they've switched it on the scoreboard, 3rd and 18 from the 24. And at this stage now, Jamie, you have no choice but to go for it if you get to 4th down. You hope, though, that maybe, just maybe, the Hilltoppers can pull out a play here that can pick them up those 18 yards.
Well, 2 timeouts, remember. And we have not seen a punt yet.
We also haven't seen the Hilltopper defense stop. They're going to try to throw the ball, some trickeration down the field, and the ball is intercepted at the 45 across the 50. Working his way, well, big tackle. Fumble on the ground, and East will pick it up. Big hit is on the pick. That was a Marion Robinson.
You know what the good news about that whole thing, Matt, is? That was like a punt. So with 2 timeouts, don't panic. You have a great opportunity here with the 2 timeouts, and Chardon's coaching staff tends to really do a nice job when it comes to clock management. So,
well,
sure.
Toppers stopped them the last possession on that missed field goal. Kyrie Williams will hand it off. McAllister left side. McAllister 45 on his feet. 40. McAllister 35. And McAllister near the 30-yard line.
Clock stops in high school football after a first down. So, again, a lot of time. This is where focus becomes really important, Matt.
Now, Jamie, focus and also all that training that you did in the offseason.
Right. Don't be frustrated.
East has the ball 1st and 10 from the 30. Williams up the middle. Williams on his feet, across the 20, and he picks up the first down. Toppers think he fumbled the football. Officials say no, he was down. Nice effort by Jacob Urbeck, and Jamie, that's what you like to see Toppers playing until they hear the whistle.
Well, I mean, actually, let's be honest, it's actually better that he got 11 yards rather than 9, given where we're at with the clock. But again, 2 timeouts. The kicking game is very suspect for the Dragons, but this defense is going to have to tighten up. Now is the time. They can't allow any more first downs.
1st and 10 from the 19. McAllister receives the handoff of McAllister, just a couple yards on that run. The defensive line there able to come up and make the stop. Clock continuing to run, 3:20 and counting.
Hewitt looking over at Frank Hall, the offensive coordinator. They're now both talking, and not going to use your timeout here. You're going to use it on the next play, but focus right now on the stop.
Now that's what they need. They need a defensive stop, and just like the last time down the field, Jamie, the Hilltoppers potentially playing for a game-winning stop, if you will, assuming they can score. But you give up a touchdown here, and it might be late.
That's a false start.
Now there comes out the flag and the whistles. I'm going to back them up 5. Too bad they can't put a little bit of time back on the clock. That's what Mitch wants.
This is where you and I, Matt, kind of become fans. We're just like sitting here in the stands like everyone else, trying to see if we can will this Hilltopper team to do something special tonight.
Well, Coach Hewitt working the sideline official, wanting some precious seconds put back on the clock.
Can't do that.
Nope.
That's not the way that it works. But the clock is stopped, and it's 2nd and long. Let's go.
2nd and 13 to be exact. Williams will give it to Felton. Felton left side across the 25, 20. Stopped shy of the 15, and now the Hilltoppers call a timeout.
Mitch Hewitt out there, gets the timeout, so it'll be 3rd down, 2:33 to go.
Wade Novak, Cole Purchase now limping.
So, Matt, you look for the stop here. You take your last timeout. This is not field goal range for Akron East. We know that. And that's kind of where the Hilltoppers are at. But when we think about this season and you've been here for 10 weeks. It was about a month ago that everyone knew that it was going to be Week 9 against Kenson. That was going to be the game that could get us here tonight, and the Hilltoppers were able to do it.
Absolutely, and you look at that Kenson game, they had to fight through a lot of adversity. You know, the big difference, though, Jamie, is the defense for East is so much more athletic. And no disrespect meant to Kenson at all, but it's a much more athletic, a much quicker unit than what Kenson had on their defense. Offensively, I mean, Kenston, their passing game far superior to what East has here tonight. And I'd put Jack Porter right up there with any of these running backs as well. 3rd and 7 from the 17. Williams.
Got him.
No, breaks out of a couple tackles. Williams stringing it out near side, and Williams brought down as a flag comes out.
Interesting flag. It stops
Holding.
the clock. It's a hold. What do you do? Wait a minute, do you decline it? Or do you accept it?
Well, where will they spot the football is the first question. I couldn't see where the runner went out of bounds. They're going to say at the 6.
Declined, which makes it 4th down. So now it's 4th down, Matt, from the 16-yard line.
Yeah, 4th and 8. Chardon going to call a timeout.
You know what I love right here? I love that the Hilltoppers coaching staff did exactly what they needed to do. They didn't take any time. They actually could have accepted that penalty potentially. I don't have any idea if Akron East is going to think about kicking this field goal. They could, because that would end the game. Or no, I guess that's not right. It would only be 8 points. So
it would force Chardon to go for 2. You know, here's the issue though. It's going to be 4th and about 7 from the 16. We saw this team earlier. They had a 4th and goal situation. Was it 4th and goal, Jamie? It was a 4th down regardless. And we saw them hit it on a touchdown pass. It was a 13-yard touchdown pass from Williams to Robinson. And, I mean, Williams made it look so easy on that play. And you got to wonder if he's going to go up and just put it toward the end zone again. He's got a couple big receivers who he hasn't been able to hit consistently, but when he has, they've been able to get some big first downs or some big plays in general. We'll see. Check it out as you've got Russell in the slot, far side. 4 receivers, 2 on each side, plus a back in the backfield. 4th and 7 from the 16. Game on the line. Williams over the middle, and it's a touchdown for East. They looked for Russell. He was lined up in the slot, and Russell, a 16-yard touchdown reception.
Wide open, Matt, and when they have thrown the ball tonight, they've been successful. It's just not really a big part of their playbook, and that makes things very difficult for Chardon.
Well, 39-28 is the score, and they're going to go for the PAT. You know, didn't mention this earlier, but East has the exact same fight song as Chardon, and just a little weird to hear it being played when Chardon doesn't score. That PAT going to be blocked. Well, Jamie, you know, if you're Chardon right now, what you want to see, you need a good return to begin with here.
Assuming that they allow you to do that, but it was the fumble. That was, you know, that changed things. Or, interception. It was a turnover down right at midfield. And
well, I'll also say this, though. The Hilltoppers have been outscored in this second half 20-7. They were up 21-19 heading into halftime. And East has the lead now 39-28
This Chardon coaching staff, Matt, has done such a nice job. You think about that strange loss to Riverside. You were there.
Yeah. Well, you know, here's the thing, though, Jamie. You beat West G, you beat Riverside.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, now you're not playing this East team. You're the 3rd seed.
That West G loss was very strange. That's a team that went 2-8?
I think they had 4 wins when it was all said and done. But it's the game of football. Chardon, again, it was penalties and turnovers that cost them that Riverside game. It cost them the West G game. McKnight going to cut it out right side, 30, 35, still on his feet. McKnight bouncing around across the 40. McKnight on his feet, 45. And John McKnight gives the Hilltoppers pretty decent field position here near midfield with 2 minutes, 7 seconds to go.
I don't know. I just don't know why, if you're the Dragons, you let McKnight touch the football in that situation. But you're absolutely right. What does your playbook look like? Obviously, you're going to empty it out. So, don't need any trick plays, Matt, but you need some, you got to throw the football, and let's see what Vuaclia has.
Well, as a reminder, the Hilltoppers, no timeouts left. East with just 1. Toppers down 39-28. And Chardon going to run the football. They give it to McKnight. McKnight stopped shy of the first down. And Hilltoppers have to hurry, no doubt about that. They cannot afford to waste time. They're going to huddle, though, which surprises me, Jamie. You would have thought that they would have had some plays ready to roll. Precious time ticking off the clock. Fans want to see a hurry-up offense here.
Well, maybe the fans should have made more noise earlier.
Vuaclia flushing out near side, going to throw down the field and throws it well over everybody's head. Incomplete, going to bring up 3rd down. Nothing open on that play.
We only had, this is our 5th home game, Matt, but we have seen far stronger Chardon home crowds than we have this year. Would you agree with that?
It's been very quiet here this whole year. Even the crazies haven't been as crazy. So 3rd and 3. Max V feeling some pressure, going to throw it toward McKnight, and it is broken up and incomplete. And Jamie, it's now 4th down, and you got to feel that if you're the Hilltoppers, maybe go back to the ground here with a run, get that 1st down, and try to do something else.
Chardon up against it right now, obviously, but this has really been one of those special seasons just to make the playoffs. This is a tough, tough region.
We talked about it from the beginning. And Hilltoppers will run the football. It's Purchase left side. Purchase going to be stopped, and that will do it. But for 6 weeks, Jamie, the Hilltoppers were playing playoff football. It started off with Mayfield. It was a 34-17 victory against a Mayfield team that's in the playoffs. They then beat Madison 28-27, a 52-27 win over South, a 42-12 win over Brush, 27-24 victors over Kenston, and then last week 42-6 over North. With a minute 21 left to go, the Hilltoppers turn it over on downs, and sadly,
this is just a frustrating game, Matt, in the sense that a couple of plays here or there, but you know, the Hilltoppers didn't do anything wrong.
No.
Obviously, they made a couple of mistakes, but they also benefited from some mistakes as well. So you can really you can leave this game feeling as though you gave it your best effort.
You look at what East has, and this is nothing against the Hilltoppers and their team, but there's 5 kids that are playing Division I football next year, 5 seniors on this East squad. There's a slew of others that are going to be playing Division II and Division III football. Chardon doesn't have that. And it's, again, no knock on the Hilltoppers players. They've got some pretty good players, but there's nobody from Chardon that's in this senior class that's going to be playing at a MAC school or any other Division I program.
I mean, it's just a handful of plays.
It is what it is.
It's just a handful of plays, and that was what made the difference. And Hilltoppers are coming out. I don't think technically you should. Doesn't matter.
Nah, this
Let's
game's
see.
over.
I don't know. The officials. Nevertheless,
well,
Matt,
the seniors end tonight. Their final home game, not the way that they wanted it to go down, and they're going to be missed, Jamie. They're going to be missed. Yeah, look at that roster, and I, don't want to start naming a lot of names, but just offense, defense, they're going to be missed. So with that, we're going to pause. We're going to thank our sponsors. When we come back, we're going to hear from Mitch, and then we'll wrap things up on GTV.
Chardon Hilltopper football is brought to you by the Chardon Hilltopper Gridiron Club, Achilles Running Shop, Advanced Mechanical, Arms Trucking Company, Ashes Mayfield Window Cleaning Company, Chardon ATA Martial Arts, Burr Funeral Home and Cremation Service, CCM Rental, Chardon Smile Center, The Connick Law Firm, El Patron Mexican Grill and Cantina, Foot and Ankle Specialists of Ohio, Hazen Contracting, Just for Kids Childcare, Keller Williams Realty, Precision Orthopedic Specialties, Residence Artists, Ronyak Paving, Waste Management, and by GTV.
Hey fellas, if you hang around this game long enough, you're gonna have days like this, but don't let today take away from what you guys did this year. I mean, it was just an unbelievable year, unbelievable experience, the most fun coaching I've had in a long, long time. Great job this year. Proud of you guys, and I'm grateful to be a part of it.
I want to thank you for your effort. I'm so proud of you, what you did all year long. To even get here, tremendous, tremendous. Don't forget that. That's something Social Pride no one could ever take it away from you. Be proud of yourself, the rest of your life, you seniors. Thank you for everything you gave us. Appreciate it.
Girls, get your eyes up, man. Get your eyes up. Here's what I would say that, one of the fears of being a male, an adult, whatever it may be, is there's a fear that you'll never be remembered, right? Like one of my favorite movies is Gladiator. And it talks about in that movie about like being remembered. You guys will always have a special place in my heart, man. You will be remembered. You'll be remembered. What you've done for Chardon football in the last 11 weeks is something I'll remember for the rest of my life. The rest of my life. So hold your heads high, man. My gratefulness doesn't change today than it did before the game. I need eye contact. Oh, you played a football game, fellas. You played a game. You put a lot into it, don't get me wrong, but you will forever be remembered in Chardon football. I will make it a point to remember this team. I am proud and grateful. And you seniors especially, man. I mean, where we are, you had a 1% chance of having a home game. You had a 3% chance of getting in the dance. You did all that, man. You've had setback after setback. You had one returning starter tonight on offense, 2 returning starters on defense. Look what you've done. Don't walk off this field ashamed or disappointed or anything like that. Walk off the field the same way you walked in, like a man. You got me, babe? Sir. All right, fellas. I'm grateful. And you have made a place, a special place in Chardon football history. Break it down.
Hey, let's go, baby. Oh, boys. Let's go. What's my day? We are family on 3. 1, 2, 3, family.
Well, you heard it in their voices. It wasn't how they wanted this one to end.
No, and yet it's certainly nice to finish up your senior season here at home for sure. And you know, this is a team that had you said yes, you're going to go to the playoffs. Yes, you're going to host a playoff game. I know for a fact that this coaching staff would have said that's a successful season, and that's exactly what the Hilltoppers had this year.
So many players, or I shouldn't say players, so many people wrote off the Chardon team after the 1-3 start. They hung tough, they battled through, and we've talked about this throughout this streak that they had going. This is a special team. So much camaraderie, so much heart. There were so many times where these kids could have given up, but you know what? They kept on fighting. And it's a testament, Jamie, to this coaching staff and these players for all that they did, and for them to beat Kenston says so much. For them to be here hosting says so much about this team and this program.
I just really hope that they're all back next year, the coaches.
We hope so too. That does it for us. We want to thank our entire cast and crew, my partner tonight, Jamie Ward, Tim O'Brien, who did some games with me as well. We got to thank our cameramen, Chris and Jeff Graw, Brian Foster, and of course, our executive producer, Dave Jevnikar. Folks, we thank you for coming along and joining us on this ride. What a season it has been. With the win, Akron East improves to 9-2 on the year, and they advance to week 12 of the postseason playoff week number 2. And with the loss, Chardon finishes the season 7-4 as they begin off-season work, as they'll be back next year as they try to return to the promised land. We wish all the departing seniors the very best. May the future be bright for all of you young men out there. And folks, we hope that you join us, as we will be having some winter sports coverage for you at some point in time in the not too distant future. I am Matt Jaworski. On behalf of all the rest, we'd like to wish you all the best.